Fala galera, e aí família, tudo bem? Estamos aqui com a continuação de Vampyr. Vamos lá galera, investigar para saber quem é esse vampirão assassino. Vamos conversar aqui com esse NPC.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Lembrando galera que se você gostar do vídeo, deixa seu like.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's a local
Curte e compartilha.
Convenient answer for every crime.
Isso ajuda muito o nosso canal.
You murdered someone. Blame the sewer dog, hey?
Lembrando família que eu tô dando uma ajuda aqui no canal do meu filho, que ele tá em prova.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
E eu vou continuar fazendo os vídeos pro canal não ficar sem vídeo.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning, drained of blood. It's just
Oh,
horrible.
vampiro.
Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared
Galera, eu
around
tô
these parts.
desconfiando que essa fera do
The
esgoto
ancients
não é
say
vampiro.
it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
Tá estranho essa
What
fera
have
do
you heard
esgoto.
about
Né?
the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu.
Eu já tenho minha teoria aqui,
Killed so many last
mas
summer. Thought we'd seen
vamos
the
seguir em
last of it.
frente para saber o que é.
Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Oh, como eu
Tell me about
suspeitei.
this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Oh, descobriu uma pista. Vamos lá ver quem é esse cidadão. Will Bishop. Vamos lá em cima ver se o Will Bishop. Tem alguma coisa aqui no cenário pra gente lutear? Será? Vamos andar um pouquinho.
I think I'm
Olha
losing
as
my
coisas.
mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No.
Can I have some privacy, please?
Vamos descobrir quem é esse Will Bishop.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place
Not
as I
long
can.
ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
I cannot enter.
Olha lá dentro tem coisa pra eu pegar, então eu tenho que achar um jeito de entrar nessa porta aqui, né, galera? Pula. Se pular vai ser ótimo.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Deixa eu ver se eu acho os moradores locais.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
It's locked.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
Eu tô ouvindo zoada. Tipo briga. Será que é esse? Alistar? Deixa a pessoa aqui pra interrogar. Olha, família, eu tô ouvindo aqui um som estranho. Puxa, esse vampiro tinha silêncio.
I cannot
na
enter.
rede. Uma marca de... Parece que tá tudo vazio. Uma porta aberta.
No one's there.
A casa tá vazia.
Nobody at home.
Que era pra entrar mesmo, a casa vazia pra poder investigar. Eu tô escutando um zoada de criança chorando.
There is no one in sight.
Aqui foi lá onde eu comecei.
It's locked, all right.
Tudo trancado, qual foi mesmo, rapaz? Era possível fazer isso? Ali diz que vai encher tudo, mas nem sei como é que enche ainda, galera. alguém, eu tenho que achar alguém pra investigar. Vê aqui no mapa.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. What's this? Some sort of note. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Olha, galera, achamos uma pista boa, hein? Não achamos ninguém para investigar, mas as pistas... Vem pra aqui. Olha, atirador. Eles estão ali do outro lado. O pau vai comer agora, viu, galera? Vamos entrar em confronto.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Antes de ir lá, eu quero investigar o cenário. Quero saber o que é que tem aqui de bom pra gente. Porque sempre lutear é bom, viu, galera? Toda vez que você for jogar, se vocês forem jogar, lute primeiro o local, depois o objetivo.
Did you hear me?
pegar o cara. Eu não sabia.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Agora pra drenar o sangue dele eu vacilei. Agora eu vou. Porque os comandos são novos, galera. Eu me passei. Não era pra só matar ele não. O mais importante aqui é drenar o sangue pra poder upar.
It's locked.
Fechada. Também está fechada. Vamos lá no nosso objetivo, que é pegar aqueles caras lá fora. São dois, tá vendo?
Crush the leech, boss!
Tem mais cara por aqui. Mais inimigo.
See any of these bastards back here again? I like their screams when you burn them alive. I said stay away, sir! Don't come closer. Crush the leech, boys! It ain't time for them to kill it! It's on him! It's on him! He's dead! Leech boy! Watch out! You'll pay for that!
Tô queimando corpos. O rastro de sangue leva para onde, galera? Tem mais cara lá em cima. Eu vou lá eliminar ele.
Over there!
Lá embaixo tem outro ainda. Tem tanto cara assim. Vamos lá. Ó, o rastro de sangue. nada pra gente interagir aqui no cenário. Ah, esconderijo não. É isso que eu quero mesmo. Fazer uma estação. Cara ali.
Over there!
Seguir o rastro de sangue do Pier. Acredito que é aqui.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Oi, mais uma arma.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend. William, my arm. I can't feel it. Will, please, let go of me.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Oh yeah.
William, please. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as
Essa
resistant
mulher
as
tava
we
conversando
are.
no quarto,
Who
galera.
are you?
Pela voz eu tô conhecendo.
What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar.
É isso
Are
mesmo,
you-
tá vendo?
Like me. Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Ela é uma vampira também.
By George and the saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to
Galera,
my
não se
fault. My
esqueça
flock
de deixar o
needs
seu
this.
like,
Go with a good
curtir,
doctor, Swansea.
compartilha
He's
com seus
resourceful,
amigos,
and I'm sure
galera.
he'll take good care
A
of
série é
you.
muito boa,
You'd
muito
best come
boa.
as well. The sun is soon to rise and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn
O
something
canal
about what
Viteira
has happened
Games
to William,
conta com
I'll be a
vocês.
step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Então, galera, agora a gente tem que... Deixa eu
This
tirar
poor
aqui.
creature can't be my maker. Could it be some
Foi esse cara que
subspecies
criou
of vampire?
ele, galera, olha.
I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Vamos lutear o local. Foi aquele cara que transformou ele nesse monstro.
I cannot enter.
Trancado. Pronto, já luteei, agora vamos pro barco, galera. Tem que lutear, galera. Não pode sair sem lutear. Você vai precisar de recurso mais na frente, então você tem que lutear. Toda vez que vocês forem jogar, independente do gênero do jogo, lutee. O loot que vai garantir a sua sobrevivência.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke
Enquanto eles
Hospital.
conversam,
I thought
vamos
you were
olhar os
here in service
gráficos
of
do
your
jogo,
mysterious
pessoal.
order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's
muito
Stole,
bonito.
yes. But first and foremost,
Eu sou
I'm a man of
apreciador de
science.
gráficos.
A physician, like yourself.
E de
Dr. Reed.
jogabilidade também.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a
Não
surgeon of
adianta você
some
ter um
caliber
gráfico
and
bom e o
renown,
jogo
if
ser
I'm
uma
not
porcaria,
mistaken.
mas esse aqui
You are correct, sir.
eu tô
I
gostando.
knew it. I had my
Depois eu vou ver se eu
suspicions.
compro também, pessoal, um jogo de
But when
lobisomem que
you
eu
took
vi.
the blood sample from the corpse of
The
poor
Order.
William, I was certain.
É um jogo massa.
Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your
Vai
predicament.
arranjar emprego ele, viu, galera?
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Infelizmente ele matou a irmã. A mãe tá muito doente. Provavelmente deve estar morta já. Quero desvendar quem é aquela mulher agora.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Pronto, galera, voltamos aqui de novo a controlar o personagem. Agora vamos ver se tem alguma coisa para lutear por aqui. Pronto, estamos em um lugar que só tem pessoas saudáveis.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Qual foi ali, pô?
Rotten all each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Ele matou outro cara.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
matar esse cara é mal, galera. O sangue dele é bom. O sangue dele é bom, tem que encher, meu amigo.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Ele matou o cara e jogou no rio, vocês viram? Por isso que eu fiz isso com ele. Agora vamos lotear aqui o local. Depois em off eu vou mexer nos comandos aqui para saber como upar ele, pessoal.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Um local feio, né, pessoal? Tá sendo um local de guerra. Isso aqui. Gente ferida. Ah, eles tratam as pessoas tipo no meio da rua. Deve estar sem leito lá dentro. Opa! Vamos lutear. Depois eu tenho que botar ele pra dormir.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised. But I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
Que ousada.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Segundo andar.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Vamos lá ver onde é
Dr.
nossa
Swansea is
sala.
right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Galera, eu tô mais calado porque esse jogo aqui é um jogo pra você entender. A
Good
gente
evening,
fica
miss.
conversando.
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire!
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with fever.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Não.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Quase.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Pronto, galera. Conversa não. Cadê o cara com o olho? O cara tá ali. Tem alguma coisa errada com aquele cara. Porque ele tá sentindo dor ainda.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Esse hospital é grande, hein? Segundo andar. No final do corredor.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
ver o que, é que tem na minha sala. Tô